On to the Social Democrats, Róisín, Shortall.
Thank you. Tánaiste, this week I think most people were deeply disturbed and moved to learn about the plight of Adam Terry, a 10-year-old little boy who is living in agony because he's been waiting for more than 4 years for scoliosis surgery. Adam is not the only child who is suffering. This week I was contacted by the mother of a 6-year-old girl, Rosie, who is desperately trying to get treatment for her daughter. Rosie was born with spina bifida and hydrocephalus and has been diagnosed with epilepsy and scoliosis. She is a full-time user of a wheelchair. In September 2019, Rosie and her mother met with consultant paediatric orthopaedic surgeon Conor Green at Temple Street, and he said he hoped to operate on Rosie by that Christmas, that's Christmas 2019, as a matter of urgency. That surgery never took place, and more than 2 years later, there have been no updates from the hospital as to when that surgery is likely to take place. That mother has contacted the hospital on numerous occasions, requested an independent review into Rosie's level of care, and earlier this year finally went to the Ombudsman for Children. While this has been going on, Rosie's condition has significantly deteriorated. Both of her hips are now dislocated, and she can no longer use her postural support equipment, which is vital to try to limit the damage to her little body being done by scoliosis. Again, I would point out that Rosie is 6 years old. Tánaiste, Rosie, Adam and the nearly 200 other children like them on waiting lists are enduring torture, which is being facilitated by our healthcare system. There is no other way to describe such cruel infliction of needless pain. What does it say about our society and our priorities that we are allowing this to happen? Children's bodies are becoming permanently deformed and they are enduring avoidable, excruciating pain because of a lack of timely medical intervention. It has now been more than 4 years since former Health Minister Simon Harris made a vow that children like Rosie and Adam would not have to wait more than 4 months for treatment. We all know COVID has had an impact, but vital surgeries like these must be prioritised. In February, Mr. Green told the Irish Times that, I quote, "My access to theatre is half a day, once a week. So I can do 1 child a week. On average, I can operate on only 40 children a year." Meanwhile, 3 to 4 patients a week are added to his list.
Thank you, Deputy.
Back then, I'd just say that Mr. Green said if he operated every day from February to the end of the year, he still wouldn't clear his list.
Thank you, Deputy.
That's how bad things are. He said it was disgusting and unacceptable. So my question, Taoiseach, is, can you give any indication of when Rosie might have her operation? And also, can you tell us how many theatres and what days is there space available for children in this appalling situation?
Yeah, thanks very much, Deputy, for raising this matter, and I'm very sorry to hear about what Rosie is experiencing and what her family must be going through as well. And thank you for writing to me about it as well, because I have the details that I need, and I will follow it up with Children's Health Ireland during the week and get back to you about it as soon as I get a reply. My understanding from your letter is that her surgery was scheduled for the 4th of October. But on the Wednesday before the surgery, her mother got a phone call to say it was cancelled, and they haven't got an indication yet as to when it'll be rescheduled. And that's not a satisfactory situation. It's very difficult to prepare a child for surgery, to prepare them psychologically for it as well. And then to find out it's cancelled is one thing, to not have another date is another thing again. And that's extraordinarily difficult. And I will follow that up with Children's Health Ireland and see what can be done. In relation to the wider issue of scoliosis and waiting lists in general, the government severely regrets that children experience long waiting times for scoliosis treatment, and we remain very conscious of the burden that this places on them and their families. Additional funding is committed as part of the budget to reduce waiting lists and improve waiting times. That's €250 million. And there's a health budget of €22 billion this year, 50% higher than it was when you and I were in the Department of Health, so a very major increase in resources. Officials in the Department of Health remain in regular contact with Children's Health Ireland regarding scoliosis services, and CHI has advised that all patients with a diagnosis of scoliosis require a preoperative workup prior to spinal surgery. This includes multiple diagnostic investigations and review by a multidisciplinary team. The plan of care which is implemented for each patient is tailored to best meet the patient's clinical requirements. The cyber attack in 2021 caused significant disruption to the orthopaedic service and all services across the Children's Health Ireland group. As a result, many elective cases were postponed, and without access to a patient's full history and previous diagnostic investigations, it wasn't considered to be safe to proceed without all electronic support systems in place. The affected patients with complex needs in particular and restricted the patient cohort that could safely proceed with surgery at the time. Most systems are now back up and running across the sites, but backloading of information is continuing, and this continues to have an impact on waiting lists and the number of surgeries completed. A new orthopaedic consultant with a special interest in neuromuscular conditions has started in Temple Street last month, and that should enable the use of additional theatre capacity and also the additional capacity being provided at CAPA. Currently, there are additional outpatient clinics and additional theatre sessions being held in CAPA for non-complex, age-appropriate orthopaedic patients, and this should improve access to theatre on Children's Health Ireland's base sites for more complex patients awaiting surgery.
Tánaiste, as I said, 4 years ago, your government gave a commitment that no child would have to wait for scoliosis surgery more than 4 months. 4 years later, what is that target now? I take it you're not in a position to recommit to your earlier target, which was never met. So what now is the target for children with scoliosis who are in agony at this point? I also want you to tell us just how many theatres are actually available and for how many hours per week in order to address these shocking waiting lists. Because, you know, in the case of Rosie, we were told that her operation was cancelled because there weren't beds for children who had operations. So what exactly is this, the logjam here? Is it a problem of theatre time? Is it theatre scheduling or theatre staff? So can you please shed some light on this? And why is it that we have such an atrocious situation and that we're failing these children so badly?
Thanks, Deputy. The 4-month target was set by the Director General of the HSE at the time, but it does remain the target, 4 months to outpatients and then 4 months to surgery. I don't know exactly what the situation is with regard to theatre time or theatre staff, but I will find out and I'll get your reply as soon as I get one. In relation to the waiting lists, Children's Health Ireland advises us that as of the end of August, there were 118 patients awaiting spinal fusion, a decrease of 8 patients compared to a year previously, and 78 for waiting other procedures, a decrease of 9 on a year previously. But they have advised that due to the cyber attack, this data is provisional and subject to validation.